Good evening, guys. So, welcome to another video. So, today we are actually going to be doing our weekly forecast. Normally, I do my forecast on Sundays for the week. So, the first thing I do is actually to come to Forex Factory and look at what news we have for the week, and if we have red folder news for and for which particular pair those red folder news are for, because that will be our like roadmap on looking at which pair will likely have more volatility this week. So I've seen that AUD, CAD, NZD, USD, GBP, they all have red folder news for this week. So USD pairs are likely to have volatility. AUD, CAD, GBP pairs are likely also to have volatility. So that is just the idea. But like I always remind myself, nothing is ever certain in the market. We really just play our edge when we see it. So with this being said and seen, let's move on to trading view. So this is actually like my watch list. I like have like close to 20 something pairs on my watch list that I normally just do scan through and pick out the ones that are actually like high probability that my setups are clean enough to take, and I look at those pairs during the week. I don't read everything at once. I just scan and pick the best one of all during the week. So the first thing I normally do is to check DXY, because like I normally like look at majors first before I go into the process. So I look at DXY. So DXY is actually like my roadmap to other major pairs. So we'll start from the higher time frame, because I normally do start from the higher time frame. So we're actually going to be starting from the weekly, because we've already started this month. Already, so we'll start from the weekly. Now, going down to my weekly time frame, I see that we have been like bearish. Like look at this bearish order flow that we've been like bearish trend. We've been like bearish for like a while now, like very bearish, and yeah, we've had some pullbacks, but we actually bearish. So the trend or the order flow, I don't normally use the word trend, but I prefer using order flow because it's in line with like my strategy or something. So the current order flow on the XY is bearish, and on the weekly I can see that we are actually very bearish on the weekly. We've disrespected this swing low, we disrespected it here. Yeah, so price is bearish at the moment on DXY. So not just looking at the order flow, we also have other things that we also take into consideration. Now we saw that price actually like closed, even though we didn't have like an aggressive close on last week candles, on previous candles low, but we closed below this candle low. Yeah, we closed below it, but yeah, it was not aggressive, but we closed below it. Yeah, so with that saying, my next draw on liquidity is this low, that is this the last candle's low. That is my likely draw on liquidity. So if we are going to go lower, how then are we not going to go lower? That is where my narrative, I have found my buyer. So now my narrative is we are going to move lower from this weekly fair value gap that we have here. So yeah, we close below previous candles low, so we're supposed to just continue moving lower, but because of the way this we had this large weak body closure up, so my likely guess is that we are going to actually like trade into this fair value gap, then move lower. So I'm going to trade into the fair value gap and then move lower. So this is what I actually believe or think that is going to happen on DXY. So DXY is bearish. So we are bearish on DXY. We are bearish on DXY. With that being said, if DXY is bearish, then XXX USD is bullish, then USD XXS is going to be bearish. So we've created the bias, we've seen our POI. So now we move on to other major pairs. Since we've already created like a bias on DXY, so it's going to be very easy to analyze the other majors, the majors. So looking at Euro USD, so Euro USD is very similar to DXY, like, so we have the same setup, but just in a bullish form. So we have this weekly fair value gap that is the same with the one on DXY. So price is likely going to come into that weekly fair value gap and then move higher. If on DXY price goes into that weekly fair value gap and then move high lower. So this is what is going to happen on UUSD. So yeah, now because I have plenty watch list on my this is a form of filtering process I have during my analysis. I look to trade the stronger pair when I'm bullish and trade the weaker pair when I am bearish. And looking at GBP USD, unlike Euro, we don't have that fair value gap that we have in this area on GBP USD. So in this sense, GBP USD is actually like low probability for me to trade this week, and it's off my watch. It's not going to be on my watch list, but DXY Euro are going on my watch list for this week, but GBP USD is not, because it does not have that weekly fair value gap like we do on Euro USD. So Euro USD is actually stronger than GBP USD. So moving to AUD USD, you see that AUD does not have that weekly fair value gap that we have on DXY, showing that it is weak, and we are kind of like choppy. We are not seeing any form of movement. We are just choppy, like we are just in a range. We are not creating new order flow legs. We are not moving higher. Any form of movement there's no form of movement seen. So we move on to NZD USD. Remember, NZD and AUD, they are closely correlated. So whatever is happening on AUD is also going to be happening on NZD USD. And you see that it's the same thing. We don't have that weekly fair value gap that we have on DXY. So it's not going to be on my watch list for this week. So now we look at USD JPY. Now USD JPY has been consolidating for long. It has been like very choppy and not a very nice price action. So I'm not actually interested in USD JPY. So we look at USD CHF. Now USD CHF looks very interesting because of it has exactly the same setup as DXY. So this is actually my setup for USD CHF, same as DXY. So this is also going on my watch list for this week. So I'll be looking to short USD CHF as dollar is going to be going short. So yes, now CHF and CAD are closely correlated. So whatever is happening on CHF should be happening on CAD. So let's look at USD CAD. Let's see if it also gives us an opportunity. And we can see that USD card is more stronger than USD CHF, and we want to, when we are bearish, we want to trade this weaker pair, and you see that USD CHF is very very weak, in the sense that on USD card we don't have that weekly fair value gap that we have here. You can see that price is like in a range just between this high and low, between this high and low, so price is in a range. So on the majors, I'm mostly looking at Euro USD and USD CHF for my major pairs this week. So we also look at gold. Gold has been like, gold has been like a mess for like weeks now. It has been a mess, and I'm not actually enjoying it. If you look at the monthly chart, you see that actually gold gave me a very bias on the monthly chart, because we swept this high, this month's high. So with my strategy, understanding my strategy, this candle that is forming now should be a bearish candle coming to this previous month's low, that is this June candle, this June candle's low. So that is it. But looking at the weekly, okay, I said that price swept this swing high. We swept this swing high here, which is that on the monthly is that candles high that we swept, but on the weekly is showing a swing high. So with that being said, so and we don't have anything, we did not have anything opposing that bearish bias from the monthly and the weekly, but now we have, because now you see that price has swept previous week's low. So next week candle is supposed to be an special candle to this high here. So now bias is kind of conflicting, because on the monthly we are having a bearish bias, but on the weekly now we are having a bullish bias, and this is something that I want to avoid by all means, because now bias is actually unclear. Now on the daily, we actually have this bullish bullish fair value gap, this bullish daily fair value gap that price is actually currently reacting off from. But would I want to just take this fair value gap or take this setup? I don't want to, because price is yet unsure where price is going. So I want to confirm the bias of gold. So gold for now is untradable for me. For me, it's untradable for me for the moment. So let's check other pairs. So we have silver. Silver is, I'm not actually interested in silver, because I see nothing actually. But we actually we have like bullish bias on silver here, because number one, we're reacting off of this weekly fair value gap. This weekly fair value gap. See, price is respecting it actually. Price is respecting it very well. So let's see on the 4 hour. We don't have any opportunity that we could have entered from. Let's say if we have like a fair value gap on the 4 hour, then I would have entered like from there. I would have entered and then target this high, but I'm not interested in either gold or silver. So BTC, BTC is actually looking interesting, because I looked at it earlier, and it's actually like a trade I'm looking to take in the next few hours if I see a very clean entry. So on the weekly, we had this weekly bullish context, but we didn't complete it. So price came reversed and then swept this swing low. We swept it and we respected that swing low, and we see that price is now currently moving higher. So I'm bullish on BTC, and we can see that price is, though we kind of like dig deep into the fair value gap, but I'm not seeing bullish candles. And on the 4 hour, or let's say the 1 hour, yeah, you see that we are creating bullish fair value gaps, though we consolidated there. So that's why I'm actually like waiting for more confirmation on on BTC. So I'm actually like bullish on BTC. Yeah, I've already marked it. So this is all for my major pairs. So let's go to the courses. We're going to go over GPY crosses. So we are going to start from, let's say, the monthly. On the monthly, we are currently bullish. See that we are actually like drawing towards this high. Then on the weekly, you see that we've been very, very aggressively bullish on EURGPY. We've created like various weekly bags, weekly bags. So like this was a fair value gap I created. Is a bag, is a weekly bag, is a breakaway gap. So price is actually bullish. We created a weekly breakaway gap, and I don't expect price to retrace back to into that weekly breakaway gap. Doesn't mean that it can't happen, it can. So we closed above this previous week's high. So this week's high now is my current, like it's just my immediate draw on liquidity at the moment. So let's see, if you're going higher, how can we go higher? We can see clearly that we have a narrative. So price can actually move higher from this daily fair value gap, but it's kind of looking like a breakaway gap. But let's see what price does tomorrow in the week that we are entering. So we have this daily gap that price can use to move higher from. So this is that weekly breakaway gap that we saw on the weekly time frame. So price definitely move higher from this gap. So that's our week's high. So that is just it. So now let's look at GBP GPY and see if GBP GPY is a more suitable pair to trade than Euro GPY, because those two pairs are actually closely correlated. So let's see. Now we can see that actually we are bullish on the weekly because we swept this week's low. Then this is our draw on liquidity. This is our draw, our immediate draw on liquidity. On the monthly, we are actually bullish on the monthly, but you see that on the monthly, see how weak we are. Unlike on Euro USD, we are very much stronger. We are creating more aggressive bullish candles. On the weekly, we are also bullish. See, we swept this low. So this is our immediate draw on liquidity. So on the daily, how are we now then going to that draw on liquidity? You see that we don't have any fair value gaps that price can use to move higher, showing that Euro USD is more stronger than GBP. Euro GPY is more stronger than GBP GPY. So Euro GPY is actually going on my watch list for this week. So let's look at AUD GPY. I guess that Euro GPY is actually the strongest GPY pair. You can see there's no daily fair value gap on AUD GPY. NZD, there's no fair value, there's no daily fair value gap. See that we're just chopping, we're just consolidating. It's not going to harm if you look at the weekly. There's nothing on the weekly. We're actually like kind of just chopping. There's nothing there. Then CHF GPY. CHF GPY is actually interesting because we have the same bias as like we closed above this previous candle's high. So this is currently like my immediate draw on liquidity. If you see on the monthly, like we are very bullish, we have even traded above this current swing high, unlike UJPY. So we are bullish on CHFJPY, and you see that we've also been creating like breakaway gaps. This is a breakaway gap. We've also been creating backs. This is a breakaway gap. This is a breakaway gap. See that we've been creating breakaway gaps. So I don't expect price to return back to that breakaway gap. But now this is the interesting thing now. We don't have a daily fair value gap to move for price to move higher from on CHFJPY, and I always like my minimum time frame to look for those fair value gaps to move higher from is the daily time frame. I can't go lower than that. So CHFJPY is actually bullish. It has a clear bias but does not have a narrative. So EUJPY is actually more high probability on the JPY pairs. So let's look at CAD JPY. So CAD JPY is bullish. You can see that we swept previous candles low. We swept this candles low. Swept it. So this is now my immediate draw on liquidity this week's. This candles high is my immediate draw on liquidity. If you look at the monthly, let's scan the monthly. See that on the monthly does not agree with that bullish balance from the weekly because you swept this low, this high, this candles high. So this current candle that is printing is supposed to draw towards this candles low, but on the weekly it's saying bullish. Now on the daily we have a bullish fair value gap that we created, but it's kind of looking like weaker than the one we saw on EURUSD. So actually going to be trading only EURUSD, JPY and GPY pairs because it's looking more stronger. So let's go to the CAD crosses. So on CAD we've kind of like been not so nice on CAD pairs. So we had let's say this is the next high that price is actually like coming to. So yes, so if we are going to those that high, how are we going to go there? Now you see that we have this weekly fair value gap that we created last week. Now it's a very nice context. So price definitely will move higher from that weekly fair value gap to that draw on liquidity. So let's check other CAD pairs if your card is the best. Now you see we are nowhere close to see. We are not close, unlike EuroCAD. We are not yet as close as we are on EuroCAD to this draw on liquidity. See where price is. But if you look at EuroCAD, we are pretty close, pretty close to that, to this high. Yeah, we're pretty close to this high, to that draw liquidity on your card. And see on the weekly we don't have any fair value gaps that price could use to trade higher. We are currently very weak on Euro card, on GBP card. So Euro card is going on my watch list for this week. Then let's look at AUD. Nothing on AUD card. It's very weak. No weekly fair value gap like the one we saw. So I want to always trade the stronger pair. See, very weak. So let's go to AUD and NZD crosses. So this was like, these courses were like pairs I was looking at last week, but I didn't get anything from them. This like on the monthly we are bullish. Yeah, we are bullish on the monthly. On the weekly, I would say that we I won't say we are bullish because we swept this previous candles high. So understanding that this candles low is definitely like a draw on liquidity. So we are bearish on weekly. That is not looking so good because on the monthly we are bullish, but on the weekly we are seeing bearish, and you see that the daily is not in agreement with that. So I'm not interested in UAD. Same thing, definitely on yeah. So here on the monthly, we are saying that we are bearish. Yeah, because we swept this candles high. So this current candle formation is supposed to draw to this level. On the weekly, do we agree with that? I will say yes that we are agree because of the closed below this candles low. Though it was not aggressive, but we closed below it. So on the daily, we see that we have this daily fair value gap that price traded into last week Friday. Yeah, this was the pair I was watching. So yes, so I'm actually going to add this to my watch list. Just going to just be monitoring. I might not actually take it to me because I don't actually like it. This fair value gap is not looking so convincing. But let's watch. I might just demand more confirmation if there need to be any trade taken on it. So UNZD is not looking enticing. GBP NZD not enticing too. So currently this is the pairs I have for this week: BTC USD, Euro USD, USD CHF, Euro GPY, Euro CAD, and GBP AUD. So this is currently like the pairs I'm actually like watching for this week. So we just only have to see what price has to offer to us. If price presents our edge to us, then we definitely are going to be taking it. If it does not, it's fine. We are okay with that, and we always want to wait for our setup. So I think this is the end of my video. So you can kindly join my Telegram channel. I normally do post like daily updates, like for the trade I forecasted today. Now I'm going to be posting like updates on them in my Telegram channel, so you can join my Telegram channel with the link below. I'm actually sharing like free signals on my trade. That seems interesting to you guys. So this is where our video or weekly forecast ends for the day. So if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, give a like, and turn on your notification bell to always get updated for forecast like this every weekend. On Sundays like this, I always do that. So don't forget to subscribe and give a like. Yeah, ciao.